Hello and welcome back for episode 12 of Aliit by Beskar. I'm curious to see what trouble the crew's going to get into this time. Usually I have some idea of what they're walking into, but this time a bit of a crossroads, so we'll see what happens. Before we jump into all that, though, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters. Starting with the top left, so we'll start with V. Tell us a little bit about Anaka and yourself.
I always forget that I'm the first one in this game. It always catches me off guard. Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a Canadian artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch, as well as some digital art. If you'd like to take a look at any of my work, you can certainly do so. I have an art Twitter. It's just there under my name card there at Peppero Draws. That's Peppero like the candy. Recently, I've been doing a lot of different anime sketches. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, there are some of those up there. I'm currently actually working on a manga panel redraw, so that's been really, really fun so far. So you can check that out there. But I play Anakata. She is a dark force using Togruta. And she's kind of like the broody teenager of the group, despite being one of the oldest, I think. I think she's one of the older ones. But somehow she's kind of branded herself as the broody teenager, which may or may not be her actual demeanor. It's just the image that she kind of ran with after the group gave her that designation. She's like, you know what, works for me. Nobody asks any questions when you're the broody teenager. But hopefully later on down the road, we kind of get to explore her character a little bit more. That'd be really fun. But yeah, that's Naka.
Awesome. Next, we've got Nikki. Tell us a little bit about Ilsa and yourself.
Ilsa, I guess she is a moody teenager. Okay, just once.
No worries.
I just had a complete brain blank right now, but she just got a lightsaber, and
a not Jedi friend.
Yeah, a not Jedi friend. Wow, I can't believe I get to do such a blank.
It happens to me all the time. I understand.
Yeah, she's a character that does things and invited a not Jedi friend to the ship last time.
Just
and
going over great.
Yeah. And she's just kind of showed up as a really kind of she's decorated the ship like a cabin, like a cottage.
Yeah, it's been fun to see too. Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm Nikki. I don't know, do too much. And on to the next person, because I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just rambling.
All right. Next, we've got Hope. Tell us a little bit about Muxo and yourself.
Hi, Muxo is if Leslie Hall and Ace Rimmer from Red Dwarf had 7 children, and she was the middle child. She is a Mandalorian who grew up on a farming colony planet. She's a bit of a daredevil, and she dresses to match that. She has a gold bodysuit like Leslie Hall, and her armor is hot pink. And she's loud. She's not as cool as she thinks she is, but she's getting there. And I love playing her so much. You can find me at HopeTracy71 on Twitter, or on Monday nights on Milady Saito's channel for Tales of Drahi, where I play a why not wild magic sorcerer with plans to take over the world.
Awesome. And then next we've got Matt. Tell us a little bit about Jai and yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Matt. I'm just a kind of all around content creator person. And I play the sweet summer child Jai, who has recently become aware of some cultural biases that he has and is having to deal with it. Thinks he hates it, and he decided to deal with that by stealing an A-Wing over all the objections of people just offering to give it to him.
Yeah. That was fun.
Boy, I feel like Jai is like one of those people that's like on the one bad day scale. And boy, I don't want that to happen to this precious muffin. Oh,
That's fair. That is fair. And then last but not least, we've got Mr. Parr. Tell us a little bit about Zadu and yourself.
Hi. I am a boring guy on the internet. I tweet sometimes, I stream sometimes, I write sometimes, I voice act sometimes. And it's about as far as, that's as interesting as I can be. But Zadu is much more interesting. You see, he's a Twi'lek whose family crashed on the planet of Kashyyyk, and so he was raised by Wookiees, his first found family. And over the years, he grew tired. He grew to want to wander the universe. He had wanderlust. So he left after much training. And he found another family with Mandalorians. Sounds crazy. Sounds wild. In this universe. What a wild coincidence. And then one day he was at the shop with a good friend. And he found his third family. His murder son, Locke. So I guess you could call him the master of found families. What family will he find next?
Apparently not Jedi. That's amazing. All right. Well, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related. My link tree is in chat. Hey, thanks so much for that Prime subscription. If you'd like, you can do 2d6 or give advantage to a player of your choice. So there's my link tree in chat, and then quick mention of sponsors, which is Fundamental RPG, which looks like this, and Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. You can find both of those things at coffee.com/raven/shop. You can also pick up a physical copy of Fundamental RPG on Amazon. Just do a Google or an Amazon search for that, and it should pop right up. And then, I play everybody else in the universe, including the newly adopted Kieran Lal, who's a newly decided she's going to be an ex-Jedi. Has some PTSD issues from being captured and tortured by a Sith Lord for about a month and a half or so, and doesn't have her lightsaber anymore. So should fit in fantastic with the crew. Yeah, and that's pretty much where we're at. So with that in mind, I think we said we were going to fast forward to the next morning, because I think we'd pretty much done everything that you were going to do that day. So bright and early in the morning on Yavin 4, you've got everything loaded up. You're welcome to do other things on this planet, or you can, or moon, I guess it is technically, or take off and do something else. What is the call?
well,
Ilsa's-
Jai...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said Ilsa's maybe he's going to grab a couple of plants, like cuttings, to replace the plants that haven't made it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do. I think it's for this system. It's going to be survival, I think.
Okay.
Or it might be a knowledge skill. I'll let you choose which one you'd like. Yeah, let's do life sciences or survival. Either one.
Okay. Yeah, she kind of lost a few of them, so survival's slightly higher. Let's see
All right.
what it does. What it does.
8. Okay. Yeah, you are able to gather a few plants up together. They are plants that seem to do decently well with being, clipped and transplanted and whatnot. Any types of plants in particular that you'd like say ferns or flowers or things like that?
Like she would want a fern, and if there was a pretty flower, she would try that, but I don't know if that would clip so well.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it seems to hold up really well as long as you get it into some water. The fern and the flower both handle very well.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else doing anything?
Over breakfast, Jai is going to suggest that we get paid and then go get parts. And then other than that, he doesn't care because he's going to go stick his head into an engine. And then another engine, and then a third engine.
Zadu got paid right away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you got paid like on delivery.
Oh, cool. Parts then. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Neat. And then he just like hits a button on his data pad and like everyone else's data pads beep. And just like, that's my shopping list. Let me know when we got it. And then he runs to the cargo hold and just like almost literally dives into the A-wing and just like parts start flying out of the cockpit.
Oh, the A-wing, really?
The two TIE Defenders, I have done as much as I can until I have parts.
All right.
That's literally what he will yell if anyone questions his choice.
You can hear Muxo's eyebrow raising from the comms room, so yes, I'm sure you will yell that.
Oh, and I have fumigated this A-wing overnight.
Yeah.
There will be no insanely strong snakes this time.
Yes, strong snakes.
It's
totally that, and not my best friend and his other friend throwing him against walls.
What? It was
Where
a
would you
snake.
even get that idea? That's
It was
absolutely not what happened.
It was a really strong Jedi snake.
I'm actually quite offended that you'd even imply such a thing. It's very rude of you, I think. Is Kieran at breakfast?
Oh yeah. How's Kieran sounding?
Yeah. Are you having breakfast on the ship or at the temple?
Both?
Both. Okay. So
Second
breakfast
breakfast?
and second breakfast. Yeah.
Well, food we know is good, and then socializing.
Jai did
Gotcha.
not go for second breakfast at the temple.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever Kieran is, Anaka is not.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I asked.
Muxo's going to eat on the ship, and then she's going to go like fuss at children in the temple.
Okay. You don't notice Kieran at breakfast on the ship. Does anybody go like specifically looking for her? Because
Is her stuff settled into Jai's room?
Yeah, her like one backpack is sitting on the bed and the door is left open.
Okay.
But you don't see her.
She's an adult.
Okay.
Unless I'm not speaking for Anaka, however.
Does Anaka want to go find her new bestie?
Absolutely not. And also, how could you say that when poor Jai is right there? Jai is first in line.
Rude is all.
Yeah. When
I'm
those
saying that
spell
ironically.
slots open up, there's already somebody clearly in line for one of them. So
I have points. I'm building an A-wing for Anaka. Come on.
Jai does
Yeah.
indeed have points. They're on thin ice though, there, Jai buddy. Don't go getting too buddy with the not Jedi.
I stole from Jedi. I stole a whole ship from the Jedi.
It stole as a yeah. You can
Stole.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. All right. So if nobody goes looking for Kieran, you also don't see her at the temple breakfast. But
Uh-huh.
whenever you do come back, you can see that there is food missing from what was left after ship breakfast.
But
I
did she
didn't know
wash her
what
dishes?
categories of food
Um,
that she preferred. I know that she was eating meat exclusively while she was on the ship before.
Yeah, I don't think she's really expressed like a preference for food yet.
Okay, she was very specific about meat before, though.
Oh yeah, like right after you rescued her, she was like, "I need protein," um,
Okay,
but like that's just because the torture,
okay.
uh,
Mhm.
and malnutrition. But yeah, assuming you had like a somewhat Earth-like breakfast, there's probably like a couple of biscuits or rolls missing from the table,
Mhm.
and maybe like an egg if they're like boiled eggs, or a portion of eggs if they're like scrambled or something like that.
Mhm.
That's missing, but everything else is exactly where you left it.
Did she wash her dishes?
Um, no,
Okay.
her plate or whatever is actually just unused on the table.
She just grazed over the table.
Possibly.
That's fine.
So Ilsa's gonna have to put a chore chart.
Yeah. So she didn't wash her dish, but that's because she didn't actually dirty it.
But
See,
it was still
this not
sitting on the
Jedi's
table.
already ruining things. Now we have a chore wheel.
Obviously
Get it
use the
over.
shore. Obviously use the force to eat.
Yes, that must be it.
Still have to put your plate away. Just because
Yeah,
you use the force doesn't mean you can get away with leaving stuff laying around.
Love that.
Okay.
And then at the temple, you get treated about the same. Nobody really like sits with you and eats with you, but they don't like give you weird looks either.
Yeah.
You're just like, you're welcome to eat there, but you're also like just sort of there. And then they're going about their business. Yeah. Anything else that you want to do here before taking off? And then where are you taking off to?
I would love to track down Olar's.
Yeah, you could probably track down Master Lars for a brief moment. Again, who suspiciously looks and sounds a lot like a young Mark Hamill.
What's up with that?
It's weird. These things just happen.
Ah, yes, Hark Mammal. I knew him well in my youth.
Do you think that Lars likes to particularly go for like walks to keep in shape? Do you think Lars is a walker?
Yeah. Likes to like watch clouds too in the sky.
Oh,
Bet
so
he's got a really good
Sky's a
laugh.
walker.
Yes, he
Interesting.
does.
Mm.
You're tempting
That's
me
cool.
to do it. Don't make me do it. This is
So
a
the
Wednesday.
So the medium task, which would be the next one we would do, because they get easier
Mhm.
as we go, would be
Uh,
there's a dead or alive assassin.
yeah, former ISB agent.
Okay, ISDH.
Well, hold on. I haven't talked to old Olar's.
And then the easy one is to capture, this is in quotes, easy, capture a live smuggler whose name
Yeah.
I didn't write down.
And I also didn't write it down. Might not have given the name yet.
Right, it was a
But-
category.
But
Okay.
but yeah, Zadu, you're able to catch up with Master Lars, probably like at the tail end of breakfast. What would you like to say to him?
Yes. Olar's. It's nice to see you again. I was wondering, I've encountered lightsabers before, but are there any weapons in the same vein? I do not wish to have a lightsaber of my own. Any weapons in the same vein that might be more suited to, say, combating one?
He just sort of pauses for a moment, like you can tell he's processing this question. It's definitely not something that he's been asked ever, much less by a Mando. Kind of pauses, processes for a second, and it's like, well, traditionally, your culture, the Mandalorians, have developed the weapons to combat Force users more so than the Jedi. However, he does mention a couple of like different types of lightsabers. There's like a short-bladed lightsaber that's for sort of like an offhand, almost like you would do a like a rapier and dagger kind of fighting style. There's a word for it, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it is.
Shoto.
Dirk?
Ah, there you go. Yeah, Shoto lightsaber. So he mentions that. Nope, that doesn't exist yet. There is another thing, but it doesn't exist in the universe quite yet. Yeah, that's... aside from that, he might mention slug throwers as being particularly useful against Sith.
And just one more quick question. I found the Force can be a troublesome thing. Any ways to combat that?
At this point, Lars just sort of takes a, like, not like a physical step back, but like kind of goes, hold up a second. Why are you asking? Who are you trying to fight?
I'm not trying to fight anyone, but I've encountered a few individuals with the ability to use the Force, and truly no offense meant on my part, but I'd rather have protection against it.
Kind of nods and is like, well, you know, I would love to help you, but it's would be kind of like if I came and asked you what was the best way to get around Beskar. You know, it's those aren't typically secrets we like to give out to everyone.
Well, if you're asking me how to get past Beskar, you haven't hit hard enough yet.
He chuckles a little bit, has like that sort of slightly lopsided smile, and just says, I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
But that's about all the advice I can offer you in terms of fighting Force users. And then he sort of smiles again and says, unless you'd like to spar sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Perhaps another time, though. We do need to be moving on to more business.
He sort of just nods and kind of gathers up his things and gets ready to go about his business as well. And just says, good luck out there. May the Force be with you. And then walks off. He's also wearing, just no particular reason, but like an all black outfit with like a dark sort of hooded cloak.
Hey, that's my look.
and like one glove
Mm.
on the right hand, as it were.
Well, I can say he
Did
has
Jai
taste.
steal the other one?
Because he's Michael Jackson?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure Jai stole the other one. Stole.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna
I
go
was
with that.
given the other glove.
Well, Zed doesn't really have any other questions.
Okay.
He understands the need for secrecy over certain things, so he's not going to pursue that any further at this
Okay.
juncture.
Dadu, let me borrow your TIE Defender.
For what purpose?
I want to do some tricks on the way out.
You want to do some tricks?
Just try to
On the
impress
way
the other pilots.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
I'm a better pilot than you. I'm not going to crash it.
Okay, relax. A pilot always knows their ship better than anyone.
They're identical.
No. See, you think you're a better pilot than me, but if you don't realize the difference between your ship and another ship, you haven't been paying attention.
Because of my skill, the difference is immaterial.
Okay, no, you can't borrow my ship, because you know nothing about my ship. I'll buzz off somewhere.
Fine.
I love this conversation so much. All right. Before you do leave, I do need a use the force check from everyone with use the force trained. So Anaka, Nilsa, and Kieran. Oh damn.
Oh, goodness. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Okay, that's what Kieran got also. That's wild. So yeah, the two of you feel like it's a disturbance in the force, but to be a little bit more specific, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Anaka, you feel something similar to what you felt on Korban, where you were just sort of like drawn towards a certain location, but not quite the same urgency to go there. And it feels very strong with the dark side. And your little buddy, Darth Hedzuska, that's still stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I love him. He's my most trusted ally and confidant.
Yeah, he's like, oh yes, I remember who lived here. You wouldn't want to talk to him. He's very rude. Just best to just ignore that.
Now, see, the shit in me is like, this guy says not to do something. Now I want to do it. Because he's usually annoying, and I usually don't want to do the things that he wants to do. So,
yeah.
Is there any indication of like how far she would have to go to discover this mystery, or to get any more information on it? Or?
It's like in the middle of the jungle. Like you'd be hard pressed to even land a ship there. You'd have to like find a clearing and then hike through the jungle. It would be a journey to get there.
See, if it wasn't fun, you wouldn't mention it. But also, we had other plans. So
this is always something that you can note for now and come back to it later.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do then.
Okay. I'm just pointing out that it's there, not that you have to do anything with it. Because it is canon information. Bad. And then for Ilsa with the 8, or sorry, the 10, yeah, you've got nothing but static. You're not sensing the same stuff. But Anaka, you also sense Kieran, sort of like a when two people hear a noise and then look at each other and go, "Did you hear that?" That's sort of like that, but in the Force. That sort of interaction.
What is Kieran's response to feeling this? Can Anaka tell any information about that?
Yeah, if you reach out to Kieran at all, she seems kind of repulsed by it.
Okay.
Oh, it was a nat 1? Oh, you're right. I don't know why it doesn't show the like red and green numbers on this character sheet when you roll. Okay, a nat 1. That makes things a little different. 1 second. I appreciate the honesty.
Oh no!
Listen, you know what? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you end up accidentally throwing your best friend into a wall. We all have to deal with it at some point or another.
You said it. You said it.
What
I
was
said
that?
it. Anaka didn't say it. So
We're getting closer.
Yeah, Ilsa, you start mumbling some very dark, disturbing things to anybody within earshot about how the Sith Empire will rise again, and saying things like, I will crush the Jedi incursion here, and I will etc., etc., evil villain monologue here.
that's a little concerning.
Where is Ilsa?
Yeah.
Where on the ship is Ilsa when this is happening?
This is the question.
It's more fun if people are around. So, where is for most people?
We're cleaning up breakfast.
Okay, that's what she's doing. like,
Okay.
like maybe this starts after she sees the dishes just sitting out.
Yeah.
So we'll very carefully wipe her hands off with the dish towel. Take Ilsa's shoulders gently because she doesn't have the time to ask permission. So, Ilsa can move out of her grasp anytime she likes. Ilsa, are you there?
With the nat
The
1, I'm
balance
gonna
is on the
say-
dark side.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ilsa's not quite all there at the moment.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do the, can you follow my finger with your eyes? I'm guessing a no. So at that point, Mukta will just, draw her hand back and wake her up.
Okay.
The Sith will rule us all.
I think the slap is enough to get you out of it.
And then
That's
she'll
just-
immediately apologize. I'm so sorry.
Jai's just passing through, getting a cup of coffee to go back into the hangar. It's just the Sith would probably pay better.
Locke is also there. It just goes, the Sith would let me kill more.
Elsa's just gonna glare and storm off with some dishes.
I just wanted you to have a choice, Ilsa. It's important.
All right.
Also, I don't think the armor goes well with the Sith look.
Don't leave dishes on the table.
Oh god.
At that, Musa will put her hand down on a plate and push it on the floor. And apparently
I
knock
feel
my
like
hand.
Anaka would walk by and be like, I don't know. I feel like you could get some pretty cool looking Sith armor. It just keeps going.
Yeah, but when a Mandalorian talks about Mandalorian armor, it's got a capital A.
She still
Oh,
says it.
goodness.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fair.
All right. So after all of that, you get an X-wing escort out of the system, and then you're free to do whatever you would like. So what's the plan?
Something I hadn't been right.
I mean, we got to go get parts, and then we have more bounties to go get.
Yes. Do we want to do shopping first or bounties first?
That depends on how much you want to have your TIE Defender.
Parts first.
I mean, you can always take that time to make any phone calls that you need to make.
Well, yeah. I just want to, be away from the Jedi before we do that. So let's go get some parts and not be in the middle of a mission when we make phone calls.
All right, so I don't know where's a good place near here for parts.
Is it Junk
yeah,
Planet?
Ord Mantell. It's a little far out. from where you are now. But I mean, absolutely, it's a good place to get stuff. Tatooine's not horribly far from here, I don't think.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
then
was-
you could just
Not very
go and
far?
talk in person.
maybe we'll just go to Tatooine.
Okay.
You're the pilot.
You're
Uh,
muted.
Zaru's not co-piloting anymore.
Okay.
One little tiff.
It's a one-woman job.
Wow.
Oh goodness.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Superior
Thanks.
pilot must lead the ship.
This is great. I love it.
Oh man. So it's gonna take you like a couple of days to get to Tatooine. Does this continue over the course of the couple of days?
Oh, Zatu simply just has more time to meditate and do his own thing. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Okay.
After about a day, Muso is just like, he's just gonna be like that. It's fine. That's how kids
Alright.
do.
Yeah. Same thing as before with Kieran. Like you barely see her. And weirdly, she's not like, if you walk by her quarters, the door's open and she's not there. But you also just don't see her very much, except for
Okay.
when food is involved, and then it's briefly.
So
Oh.
she's another Naka.
For the moment, yeah.
Zadu does always make the effort to just offer meditation again, just because that seemed like a healthy thing.
Okay. Yeah, should probably do a couple of meditation sessions with Zadu. But that's about it. Is there anything specific that Zadu would want to say or ask during those? During the non-meditating part? I mean,
Guess he'll just ask, are you all right?
I'm alive.
Mm.
Wow, that bar is pretty low, huh?
Yeah. And there's just like a long pause of like, I'm alive? No, not really.
Mm.
It's like I went through a lot of really bad things, and kind of have lost my path, I guess you could say. Kind of this whole religion type thing that I've built my life around, finding I don't think is the right way anymore. So I'm having a little bit of a, identity crisis and things like that.
Mhm. Well, no one should certainly blame you for having that crisis, and it's going to take a bit more time. From my own experience, building your life around one thing does often lead to that feeling.
Things I wish I'd known, 15 years ago.
Something I only learned after leaving home. Everything's kind of has its due date.
Yeah, I guess this is mine, but yeah, I'm not having a great time with it, to be honest.
Mm. Well, you focused on the Order and the Jedi way for so long. It's time to just focus on you and what your next path will be, what path you're going to carve out in the universe.
Well, I suppose my ultimate goal is still the same, and that's to get rid of the Empire. Sounds like I'm on a pretty good ship to do that.
In a way.
Overheard some conversations.
I see.
I guess to do that, I'm probably going to need another lightsaber, so I guess I should start building one.
Oh, absolutely. Do you happen to know the components that go into that?
She reaches into her backpack and pulls out like this little leather-bound journal type book, and opens it up. And there's like a hand-drawn sketch that's actually really good and detailed. It says all the different components, and it's essentially just a focusing crystal and a power source and a lens, and then the casing to go around it.
Just an interjection on this topic. I was at the bookstore today, and there was an art book of all the different lightsabers from the Star Wars universe, and like how they were put together and what characters owned them and how it related to the character is really, really cool. So lightsabers are just great.
Nice.
Very cool. And yeah, she does, kind of on that note, she does explain, like, it's usually the components or something that's very personal to the wielder.
I see. Well, currently paying for Jai's new project and fixing up the ships, but we'll see about getting you some things for a new lightsaber. I mean,
Jai
just
has
more use,
so many spare parts.
just more useful to have a Jedi with a lightsaber than without.
Sort of nods. She's like, yeah, I'll see if I'm ready to start working on one or not. Suppose it couldn't hurt to start gathering up the materials in the meantime, though. Thanks.
Of course. And if you don't feel ready to work on it, I'll hold on to the materials. You ask for them, you have them right there. It's like a bit of security.
She gives you a genuine smile, and it's like that, like the smile that someone gives you when they're having like just the most god awful day, but then someone says something kind, and so it's not quite the full like super happy smile, but it is a genuine one nevertheless. So she gives you that smile and nods, and then kind of goes back to meditating without really ending the conversation. She's awkward.
Hey, that's okay. So I spent a lot of time around awkward people. Traveling when he was younger.
Oh, I thought you meant this ship.
Oh, this ship is just chaotic, not awkward. Just they blow up any social standards there might be in the universe.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay. Anything else that you all would like to have happen during the journey to Tatooine?
Muso's gonna have another go at simulations, so I assume that's just another use computer role.
Yeah.
I'd
What
like
were
to
the
improve
simulations
that.
again?
Huh?
What was that for again?
For strategy, just like demonstrating
Okay.
things. Like we take video constantly because we have like the drone and stuff, and she just wants to incorporate that into like, and then this is what we do if we see this other thing that we've seen before, and it advances this way, and we're going to group up that way. So far it's 2D. And
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was
very,
like a
very
whiteboard football strategy type thing.
Exactly. Because she's just got all that imagery now that she could call up the images. She just can't do anything with them at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a little better. It was a 13
Okay.
last time. Improving.
Yeah, instead of it being like copy and pasted photos onto little icons in like Microsoft Paint type style, like you've got some legit tokens for everyone on the board. Maybe some dynamic lighting on there a little bit. So it's a little better than what it was before.
We'll get this. I'll have a marketable skill when we retire.
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what she does.
All right. Well, in that case,
She in no way avoids Sadu. He's got his own problems. It's not her problem.
Zadu doesn't
Right.
avoid you.
Yep.
Just doesn't, co-pilot.
It's fine.
Not avoidance, Hi, hello. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. I'm good too.
Eventually, like on the day that we're due to land on Tatooine, like Jai watches that at breakfast and just goes, like leans over to whomever is next to him, like Kieran, Anaka, Ilsa, literally whomever, and just goes, "Boy, I hate it when mom and dad fight." Like just a long sip of coffee and just dead eye stare them both down.
It's so
that's
fun because
great.
we're both just so chill about it. It really is just sort of like, yeah, I fought with my siblings so damn much. I'm just gonna wait you out.
All right. Anything
And-
Anaka and Elsa want to do?
I think between making sure everything is like looking suspiciously cottage-like and putting up an annoying chore chart, Ilsa's like practicing in her room after she takes her plants out so she doesn't kill them again.
There's still the brig.
Yeah, she could be practicing in there.
It's safe on purpose.
Okay, maybe she'll move her practice to there so she doesn't destroy her room all over again.
Okay. All right. And then Anaka.
I don't think there's anything in particular Anaka's going to do. You guys probably see a little more of her now and then, now that, we've all been on this ship for however long, and she's finally deciding to be social. But with Anaka, you know that social means absolutely no talking. She just graces you with her presence.
Yeah.
It's like when you have a cat that doesn't particularly like people, so they'll like show up every now and then. It's kind of like that, but it's always conveniently when Kieran is not around. She'll like sense through the force when Kieran walks away so that she can come out.
That's great.
Okay, if Anaka's there when Ilsa's like practicing, she's going to try to show off and probably fail really badly.
All right, let's do a use the force check. Use the force to show off.
To somebody who doesn't even respond to that sort of thing that you know of.
Yeah, a 14. It's not terrible. Like if you're like lifting stuff in the room or something like that, they're like a little wobbly, but everything's still in the air.
Yeah, she'll do it. She really wants to show off for Anaka, even though Anaka doesn't care.
You don't get the sense that she doesn't care, but she doesn't give you any particular attention. Like if you had done something really cool, she might have been like, but you're doing an okay job, so she just kind of glances and continues what she's doing.
Yeah, I think she's like probably always trying to do this really amazing thing and not doing it.
I'd say you might even get like the tiniest of just a corner of the mouth go up in a very not smile, but it's something. So
That
You get a
works.
slight smirk.
yeah.
All right. Well then.
But if you
after,
ask her, she didn't do it.
Well, then after a couple of days of this, you arrive on Tatooine. And yeah, you're able to get whatever parts that you would like. You've got the 80,000 credits for rescuing Kieran. Yeah, you've been to Tatooine enough now that I think you can get pretty fair deals, so you know that nobody's like ripping you off. Or if they do, you're able to haggle them down to the reasonable price. So yeah, anything that's like common or even military grade, like you could probably find it here.
So Jai's gonna get his whole shopping list for the Kipper, then for Ilsa's ship, which I think was just the shield generator. But he is going to keep an eye out while he's out shopping for any really cute side table that would just go with the whole cottagecore aesthetic. Maybe something that Ilsa can like clean up and repaint and maybe flip next planet over. Jai doesn't judge. Jai's just like, yo, that'll work. Dunk.
Yeah, you absolutely find something like that.
Perfect. I think that's how Jai is going to start like bonding with Ilsa. It's just like every so often he just shows up with a piece and just like hands it to her and then walks away. This is for you.
Love that.
He's been really nice to him lately since that whole snake incident.
Oh, perfect. Jai just thinks it's working then. Because clearly nothing, like a snake hit him.
Yeah, those weird, Hulk snakes, they'll get you every time.
Maybe she just feels bad because I got beaten by a snake after I didn't kill Saxon with all those proton torpedoes.
Yeah, the snake and all of the table just made her so nice to you.
Yeah, it's working. It's working really well. Then, if there's anything left, he'll start getting some parts for the A-Wing. But that's lower on the list.
Okay.
For the next panel.
Kieran's also wandering around. She's in the like a brown, sort of like a dark tan or light brown, hooded cloak, and kind of wanders around on her own for the most part, looking for components for her lightsaber, presumably, but is close by to whoever's around, so she doesn't wander off too far.
I mean, that's fine. I don't feel responsible for her. I just feel responsible for hurting her if further harms come to her. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, like
she's like the ship's cat.
We'll keep rescuing her. Well, I say we. Muso will keep rescuing her, and she'll probably drag the rest of them into it if it becomes necessary.
Whoa. Now you're trying to take my position as the ship's cat? I feel like I'm being pushed out here. If you guys don't want me around, just fucking tell me to my face.
Anaka, she talks about her trauma. Says the person who doesn't talk about her trauma at all and just projects it onto other people constantly.
You know what? This abysmal treatment puts you all on thin ice, and I won't be surprised if we have a murder mystery on our hands one day. Just saying.
We are full of beans tonight. Oh
it
God.
won't be Jai, because that's the only person she knows she can get on her side.
Oh yeah, no. Let's kill a Jedi. Let's go. That'll be great.
Oh God. Okay, so that's
question.
Yeah.
Do they have like cups to go with those straws? It's not an important question. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's been long enough that they've gone through the line of straws, and now they've been hurting for a little business, and the marketing team got together and they were like, the straws were a big hit, but they've been played out. We need something new, and the new intern just said, what about cups? And
Elsa's going to get them but not just for Muxo. She's going to get lots of cups.
Perfect. Yeah. So they're
Muxo
like
will get the whole set,
straws.
But everyone else will just get like a random one.
Perfect. Yeah, they light up. They project little hologram things.
Is there one that projects something really cute and adorable?
Yeah.
That's going to Anaka.
Perfect. It'll be a.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew.
Is it a
Is this also
Wolf cat? I think this
making up
is-
for the fact that you guys are trying to push me out of my position,
is what you
trying
call
to get rid of me from the ship?
No, she just feels bad, so she's trying to make it up to everybody.
it? Let me see if I'm spelling this right. Might be misspelling it.
Even Locke will get a cup. Even I'd probably destroy it, but
If that's what gives him joy. You know,
Loaf
we
cat.
can
That's what
touch.
it is.
He'll wear it like a hat.
Let me grab a picture for you so you can see what they look like. Nope, not that, not that. There's one. Here we go. Put that into chat, and I'll throw that into Discord as well.
Oh my god.
That's what it looks like. So it projects one of those.
Excellent.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. So what's Zadu and Anaka and Muxo doing? Because I think we've covered everybody else.
Well, there is reporting into Bevan to do while we're here.
Of course.
I guess we have to do that. I mean, it'd be rude not to.
And I'm guessing that Muxo volunteers to go alone to report this, so everybody else can enjoy their time on the planet.
If they want to come along, that's fine. I mean, someone's not my co-pilot anymore, so I don't know why he'd want to go.
You know, I think I'm gonna go shopping. Alone.
All right then. Not with Locke?
You know, what, Locke can come. I think me and him have a mutual understanding. A certain respect.
I'm a better pilot than him, too.
Does Muxo feel like Locke is the new mom of the group? Like, what's happening? Fine, go do whatever with your new partner in crime. I don't care.
I could just see Muxo saying that and Locke just being like, "Of course, I'm not programmed to pilot. I'm programmed to kill."
This is all him.
I don't know what you're talking about. We only need one pilot. I mean, truly, Buxo's just so good at it.
We need at least 5 now, so.
Oh, okay. Anything in particular Zadu is shopping for?
Lightsaber parts?
Okay. Yeah, you're able to find a power supply that would work pretty well for one. That's not very expensive either. It's like maybe 100 or so credits.
Well, I'll definitely take that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then anything from Anaka before we go see Bevan?
Man, I know Anaka seems pretty boring, but she thrives in combat, and this is not combat, so there's nothing in particular that she would do.
I mean, it's Tatooine. You could find combat, no problem.
That is true. Let's do what we have to do first, because Anaka's not here to cause trouble that she doesn't need to cause. She has very specific trouble in mind that she needs to go looking for, but not to start anything for no reason, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Your buddy Hedzuska does urge you to murder a few people and to just take whatever it is that you want because it is your right as a Sith Lord.
At one point when he suggests that, she goes, "You know what? You're right."
Okay. Are you going to murder someone or steal something?
No, absolutely not. She's just like, yeah, you're right. Exactly. That's something we should do. And I just imagine him going, really? She's like, no.
It's kind of like that, except instead of a really, it's like, well, get on with it then.
She just like presses the mute button best she can.
Yeah. His voice is still there going, yeah, that doesn't work that way. Literally goes like, that's not how the Force works. There's no mute button. Okay. So Anaka's having a nice walk and a fun conversation in her head.
I realized I was talking and I was muted at the same time. All I was trying to say was, yeah, pretty much. You know, when you're walking and someone says something and you say out loud, man, do y'all hear something? That's what Anaka does, but she does it in her head. So she's like, damn, like, I don't know, am I hearing things? Like, what the fuck?
Oh goodness. Okay. All right. Well then, we'll go to the cantina where Bevan's hanging out. Who's going aside from Muxo, if anyone?
Ilsa is certainly welcome to come if she likes.
Jai is already
Naka
going
will
to
go.
be hard at work back on the ships.
Okay.
I feel almost like for Jai, we need to keep breaking things to keep them happy.
Oh God, please no. Just let him go kill Saxon. That's all he wants. And then maybe a spare Jedi, just so he can feel better.
Okay. I think you muted there, Ilsa.
She will come along, but it'll be like background, like she'll stand in the corner while Muxo's in charge.
Until you need to defend yourself for adopting an ex-Jedi.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then the three of you are able to go see Bevan. Bevan's in the usual private room.
Yeah. And Muxo does her usual swagger through with her helmet on because she likes the reaction. And she likes swaggering. She needs an audience.
Bevan, seeing who it is, takes his helmet off and sets it down on the table and invites you in. And you can see that the table's like covered with data pads. He's clearly been strategizing and figuring some stuff out. Yeah. And Utini is there as well, also sort of like poring over a data pad. And he just sort of nods at you all. And yeah, Bevan in, again, I cannot imitate Boba Fett's voice. So in Space Australian accent, just says, welcome back. How are things going?
About as well as can be expected, given the crew I've got. How are you doing?
He sort of nods and is like, and you can tell he's like super focused on what he's working on. He's like, things are going well. I think I figured out how we can get these two at each other's throats, and it goes into like a lot of boring details about a strategy. Seems to be completely oblivious that he's being flirted with.
And Muxo is actually very interested because like strategy is new and she wants to know about strategy, so she's listening very carefully. Okay. You know, but kind of like, you know, hand under chin, attentively. Okay. It looks like she's faking attentiveness, but she actually is being very attentive. And at some point she'll just sort of like slide her data pad onto the table and be like, we weren't as successful as we had expected to be, but we still have some data from here. It's getting progressively more difficult to get into this space because a certain person was there again.
Kind of grumbles at the certain person being there again, not the other parts. Mm-hmm. and nods like, yeah, it might be time to start switching gears here to I think we poked that hornet nest enough. We should probably poke the other one and then, convince her that it's these hornets that are poking her hornet nest.
I think they're pretty convinced it's those hornets, given the way we left them. We left.
Anaka pulls down her hood and she goes, "That's a lot of hornets."
I may have been pretending to be somebody when he said some things, and
yeah, Bevan looks at Anaka and just goes, "Look, I'm a strategist, not a linguist. They're all hornets. I don't care." But scoots over so Muxo can actually sit down at the table, and starts like showing you the plan, which is sort of like on a board, like a murder board type thing, going like, okay, here's where you did this thing, where you stole the TIE fighters, and then here's where you did this thing and that thing, and it's like a flow chart as well on the side. It's like, so if we're here, according to this, next step is to attack Dala and make them think that it's Pell.
Raven, do we have any remaining resources from Pell? We wouldn't want to use the same things we did before, though.
Yeah, you got the code cylinder that you stole.
Yeah, we got a new one on that last trip in. Ilsa
we needed
got
one, yeah. When we stole that from the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got something for that.
And Bevan does explain that he's pretty sure that Pell's primarily the only one with dark troopers. That there are other fragments of the Empire that have them, but Pell's was part of development and is the only one that has the full manufacturing plant for them.
Okay.
So
what scale of mischief are you looking for?
However much you can handle without blowing your cover or getting dead.
We're gonna need a little time. Our defenders took a little damage. Jai's working on it, and I can help him, but it might be a week or so before we start. How does that jive with your plans?
Bevan just sort of shrugs and is like, well, the Empire isn't not going anywhere yet.
There was a proton torpedo exploded inside of after the door was closed. So
back of the ship, Jai is just sitting in the controls of the Kipper, balancing something in the system, just looks up and just grins. Mm-hmm. Just looks right up into the camera and just shit-eating grins, suck it, Saxon.
Yeah.
I forgot that you haven't really reported that yet. So yeah, Bevan kind of looks at the information you launched a proton torpedo into the hangar while you all were in it?
He hates that.
Oh. Yeah, this does seem like a Jai plan. Well, at least you didn't die.
And it got us a distraction to get out again. Well, we would have liked to penetrate further, but, needs must when the devil drives.
Yeah. All right, well, that should slow him down for a little while, and this is good information. I'll get this to our intel people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was unfortunate that it was that map. It didn't have a back entrance, so they wound up coming in the front again. But at least we know which one it is.
Sort of nods. Yep. Okay. Well, next, I think we can leave Pell alone for a little while. Next step's gonna be getting
Dala.
Yeah, getting Dala to think that Pell's attacking her. Because if we can get those two factions fighting, then that will weaken the Empire or Imperial Remnant as a whole a lot.
Yeah. So, first step, get the defenders running. Those will be really convincing. Then we'll go shake some things up. That'd be
Jordan
fun.
nods and is like, all right, that sounds good.
Muxo
That's about all he has to say.
Yeah, she gets up from her seat, gives him a wink, finger guns, strides out, puts her helmet on, and she goes.
Yeah, he just gives you like a 2-finger sort of mock salute, and goes back to poring over data pads. Is anybody else staying in the room a little bit longer than Muxo does? Like are you leaving slowly by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah, Elsa is, because she's thinking she's I'm sorry, that somebody will say something to her, so she's just waiting.
Meanwhile, Anaka
Okay.
is contemplating why Muxo just fucking leaves every time instead of waiting for people.
As soon as Muxo's like out of earshot, Utini leans over to Bevan and goes, dude, I think she's into you. And
Good. Someone's gonna tell.
Bevan just looks at Utini and is like, what? No. Sort of has this kind of expression and attitude of like, people aren't into me. You're crazy.
Anaka leans over to Ilsa in like it's almost like a mocking gesture the way Utini moved over. And she goes to Ilsa and stage whispers, says not really whisper, she goes, men.
Bevan looks really confused and sort of yanks his helmet off the table and puts it on.
Anaka pointedly looks at him and winks before she leaves.
Everything I wanted that scene to be.
Bevan
Be
does,
nice
like,
to my Uncle Bevan.
There's like the Mandalorian equivalent of the middle finger. Just lifts his arm up with the top of the gauntlet facing you, and turns the flamethrower on just a tiny little bit. There's just a tiny little flame.
On the way out through the door, Anaka just kind of whistles to herself a little bit.
You could probably hear Bevan muttering something like "smart ass" as you're leaving. So yeah, that goes about as well as expected.
That went great. That was exactly as Muso intended. Awesome.
And I love
Like, she
that
could
Jawa
have just
was-
sent it.
That's true. I also love that the Jawa was the one that picked up on it, not Bevan. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as like story mission, if you will, yeah, it's pretty much just go hit Dala however you would like to.
Great.
And he forwards you the coordinates to where it's suspected that her fleet is currently.
Great.
So that's available,
Yeah.
or you can go on some bounties, or you can cause new trouble. New trouble is always an option.
Jai, how much of the repairs can you get done while we're in hyperspace?
I have all the parts.
Okay. Do you have enough resources in terms of space and tools?
Yes.
Great.
He
Let's
just
get some
like
bounties while
points,
you're
and
here.
there's like 2 bins from a junkyard.
Mhm.
Don't know where they came from. They just showed up on the ship.
I'm excited for you. Don't fall in.
He didn't ask questions of the Jawas that put him on here. They didn't ask for payment. He was just like, "Oh, parts, cool." Or he stole them. We'll never know. Plenty of questions.
Yeah. Just make sure you use a wire when you're rooting around in there. I don't want you having to climb out.
Yeah, I'm real cautious about snakes now.
Do you need Duce there to scare things off?
Yes.
Suddenly we've given this poor boy a debilitating fear of snakes.
That wasn't us. That was Raven.
That
a
is
little
true.
from column A, a little from column B, I think, on that one.
You know what? You know what? No, you are absolutely correct. Nothing was my fault, and I refuse to take responsibility. Thank you, Raven, for traumatizing Jai.
Is this Anaka talking or Vanessa talking?
A little bit of column A.
I was going to say, that sounds like a little bit of both.
Well, Elsa's going to set a pillow for Duce and some snacks for Jai.
Oh, Ilsa's the best.
Right.
She
So
feels really
yeah, when
bad.
Musa gets back to the ship, she will go immediately to Jai and say, "All right, so we're gonna meet up with Dalla's fleet. We're gonna need a little fleet of our own. So I'm thinking that we should finish off these bounties so you have time to fix as many ships as we can fly. Maybe get Anaka a little more brushed up on flying her ship if it's available by then."
Guy's like hanging down out of the cockpit, upside down, looking at you with like his feet tucked under the lid. Just goes, "All right, so we're gonna go bounty hunting."
Yep. So
Awesome.
we can build our flock.
It sure would be nice if we had a really big ship that an evil Sith person left alone in orbit, unmanned. That would have been really cool.
It was not unmanned.
You don't know that?
I do.
Grumble, grumble. Need big ship. No, grumble.
Jai,
Donk. Just a
I
metal
got it.
piece comes flying out of the cockpit.
I value you. And I just don't think that, as much as I love risk and daring, that this would have paid off. You don't really think he had an empty ship, do you?
He just like peeks over the edge and just goes, "We could have named it the Bevan," and then drops back down and like sparks start flying out of the cockpit.
And she actually does that little, like, grin to the side, like, shuffle shoulders thing, like, we still can.
If we're gonna hit Dala, it would probably really hurt her if we just took one of her ships. I bet she didn't like it when we took these TIE Defenders.
Yeah.
Her
Just
fleet
saying,
is
it's a
pretty big.
plan.
Yeah. We should definitely do some more ship stealing. We're familiar with that.
We're good at it.
Stealing is a
Are
lot
we-
more complicated emotionally, I feel like.
Are we framing Pelican? Out of character.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
What?
Yeah,
nice.
framing Pell again.
Yes.
The information from Bevan is that like they're close to fighting each other. Just gotta get Dala riled up, just the way that Pell is right now.
Stealing a ship would really do that. Okay.
That definitely would do it. Yeah.
And also make us feel good.
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
and she does have a lot of them to choose from.
Oh,
Are we going to like
we're gonna need a
Drop
base
that.
at some point.
drop that thing that Elsa took? So look like the Pell was there.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did Elsa manage to keep any of the uniform,
Uh,
like a hat
Yeah.
or something, or an ID badge? Since she seems to like taking those.
yeah.
While we're on Tatooine, could we get new
I
ID?
Yeah, you can certainly try. I think Ilsa got like a whole uniform.
She
Last
tried
time,
to, and yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else she would have stolen a badge because she's been stealing badges the whole.
I can't remember
Campaign
what
so
we
far.
said from. Yeah, I can't remember what you said from that episode, but either way, sure. Yeah, you can have a full Imperial officer's uniform. I'm totally fine with that. You've had plenty of opportunity to get one.
Perfect.
I still
from
have-
your-
I still have a couple sets of stormtrooper
Adventures.
armor in a locker.
And
That is true.
I have additional stormtrooper guns and grenades.
And Elsa has her voice.
Yes.
Anaka has half a will to live and an entire will to kill things. So there you go.
So I think we can pull this off.
Between all of this, Zadu's need to duel something and Locke wanting to murder everything, I think we can take a ship.
Yeah, just not that Kamino insists ship. Just
I
yet.
doubt it's gonna be there,
Just okay.
but it would piss him off a lot if we took it.
let's do a couple more missions and get our strategizing together. We're going to be good strategists. I know it's painful for you. And then we're going to take that shit.
Jai mutters something in Mendoe about fried fish, and then just like gets back to work.
All right. So, it sounds like the plan then is to go after the ISB agent, or former ISB agent.
Yep. Kill time when we get our ships.
Is this the dead or alive one? Because Jai's got a real good solution for that.
This one is dead or alive.
He can hit
Yes, it
eyeballs.
That's true.
Does Kieran have a weapon?
Not currently.
I've got some extra blasters.
It's probably us.
We have a lot of guns.
Yeah.
Yes, but what about the marshal department?
Oh, Muxo did
The-
want to get a solid ammo gun while on Tatooine.
Oh, a slug thrower? Yeah, absolutely. Anything that's in the rule book for slug throwers.
we have too many force
widely
units
available.
on this fucking ship.
Not wrong.
To be fighting them with energy weapons, and there will be
Yeah.
fighting.
Par, what were you saying? I thought you had a question there, but I couldn't quite hear you.
Oh no, I was just inquiring if Kieran had a weapon for like up close and personal, because Jedi like that sort of thing.
Yeah, she just had her lightsaber before, but it was taken, so she doesn't have any weapons at the moment.
Well,
Does
we're on
anybody offer
Tatooine.
her a blaster?
I think only Zadu knows that she's unarmed.
Oh, Ilsa still has a blaster that she's supposed to be working on, and I keep forgetting about.
Okay.
Muxo's aware that she
Oh,
reached
the
for her
Dark Trooper
lightsaber.
blaster.
Yeah, though she has a Dark Trooper blaster that I personally keep forgetting about.
Yeah.
Naka
That
still
would
has the one that
definitely-
belongs to the Saxon.
Oh yeah. The Dark Trooper
You
weapon
love
that would actually
Saxon
come very
blaster.
much in handy in framing Pell.
Nice.
So if you can get it functioning, that would be extremely useful for your mission.
Okay, after
If you bring that to Jai, he will happily help you.
yeah, I was
tinker
gonna
with it.
say she can bring it to Jive. Just I don't want to interrupt his shipbuilding.
He will love the chance to play with a new toy.
Okay, she'll just kind of casually show that to Jai.
You know that moment where you get your puppy like a new chew toy and you squeak it at their face for the first time, and it's just like they saw the face of God and then they destroy it. That's Jai in this moment. Like he's just like, what is that? That's new.
Yeah,
Amazing.
took it from the it's a Dark Trooper thing. I forgot about it.
This is whoa, they get custom blasters? I hate these guys. And Jai's just like spinning it and looking at it.
Can
Does
you fix
it
it?
work?
I don't know. No, can you fix it?
Let's go find out. And Jai's gonna run to the workshop.
Perfect. Jai, if you want to give me a mechanics check, I can tell you what the current state of it is,
Oh
potentially.
my gosh, yes. I will use so many force points if I have to. I got a 27.
No, you're fine. So it's much larger than a normal blaster. It's looks like it's more built for like a very large Wookiee than a human. So it's very kind of cumbersome to wield it yourself, just in its current state. There's no power source in it, but everything else seems to be working.
Does it look like it will take a standard like blaster power cell or
It does not, though, since you got a 27, which is pretty dang good, I can tell you that you're pretty sure you could rig something up. If you would like to spend a force point or a d6, you could potentially find out what you could rig up. Because a 30 would definitely get you there.
Well, there you go. That is a 33 with the first point I just burned.
Okay, then Yeah, you won't have to roll another mechanics roll. You just figured it out. So basically, if you take like 4 blaster power packs and hook them together, and maybe wrap it with a little extra tape, it'll just about fit in that spot, and you can clip it in.
So y'all hear just like some like, it's very much like a sitcom. Like you hear like a massive, and then it's like, ooh, and then Jai just like jetpacks through the ship down the ramp, and then a little while later comes back with just some extra power cells, just like, Ilsa, I'm gonna make it work. And then just like stops and just goes, we should probably only fire it like once, because this is also how you make a bomb. And then runs back into the workshop.
Oh my god. Okay.
Fun fact, I discovered the other day that there's a thing you can do in this system where you can just take a bunch of blaster power packs, duct tape them together, and like touch wires to it, and it turns into a bomb.
So when is
Oh
Jai
my
doing
gosh.
that? Because I know Jai is going to blow something up that way.
I may or may not have deliberately purchased multiple power cells when we were on Camino as part of our order, just in case.
When he runs out of detonate.
Or my second thermal detonator goes poorly like the first one did.
So I'm just looking up something real quick. So it is on par with a bowcaster in terms of damage.
Ooh.
I should get one of those.
Do
Yeah.
you want to play with this?
Actually, hold on. How much
Sure.
damage is that? So, like a bowcaster, except 4d10 instead of 3d10.
Oh, do you want to play with this?
But it's an exotic weapon, but roughly the same range.
Is that like nearly ship damage?
No.
That's 10 times.
Yeah. Ship damage is very ouchy. But yeah, 4d10, so it's one more d10 than a bowcaster. And it's considered an exotic weapon, and with the 4 power packs, you get like 10 shots.
Yikes.
Per reload. Or recharge. You can always just recharge
you
these
need.
power packs.
All right, so he'll give it back to Ilsa and be like, it works now. There's probably not a lot of shots, so careful. It kind of feels like that thing the Wookiees use. Maybe Zadu can deal with it. I don't know.
Okay, I'll show Zadu. I don't. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for letting me play the new toy. Ooh, I'm gonna go fix your shield generator now. And goes
Thanks.
and focuses on the cottage.
Alright. I think that's a good spot to take a break. So we're gonna take a 15-minute break. Go grab water and snacks and whatever. And then also be thinking about how you want to go after this ISB agent. And I will tell you that they are on a heavily forested planet. Just to give you an idea of what the landscape is.
We set Locket and Naka loose, and then there won't be much of a forest anymore, and then we just find his body.
I mean, that's an option.
Or, you know, someone from Kashyyyk could be in the party, and I don't know.
Oh,
It's
that's probably the smarter choice.
just strange.
Well, you've got all
Um,
this time now that you're not
Yeah.
flying anything, so.
Oh my god.
I do. Honestly, life is just a dream now.
Anyways. Come back in about 15 minutes, because we'll be back with the second half of the show. We'll be right back.
The grudges aren't going anywhere.
right, we are back. When we left off, you were all looking at taking the bounty on the ISB agent. I believe is where we landed on that. It's on a heavily forested planet, about maybe 12 hours in hyperspace away from Tatooine. Not too bad of a journey at all. Visually, it's very similar to Endor from Return of the Jedi. So imagine that type of terrain. A lot of forest and tall trees, but not like thick, brush or anything like that. It's the forest floor is pretty open. Excuse me. So that's where you're headed. That's the last known location for this ISB agent turned a freelance assassin. And
so we're going to adopt him too.
I mean, you can certainly try.
I do believe part of that bounty said dead. So.
Or alive.
But dead.
But dead.
He's not a Jedi. Why are you so determined to die?
We don't need more strays on our boat.
I think we just adopt everyone at this rate.
Look, we've got the Womp Rat gang. We've got that one TIE fighter pilot who is going to come back and ruin our day. Almost guaranteed.
We haven't heard from the one part gang in a while.
We haven't checked in on them.
I know.
We've been bad friends.
No, what we're doing is we're building our own army.
Next time, we'll give them a couple weeks. Muxo needs a haircut every month or so. So we'll go back to Narshada, have them around, make sure their mohawks are still going good. It'll be good.
All right. Is there anything in particular that you want to do to prep for this? The last that you heard on the bounty information is that this person is hiding out on the planet. They're most likely effectively camping. So they're not going to be in any sort of populated area. Though you can ask around in the settlements that are there if anybody's heard of anything unusual happening in the woods or anything like that. So there will be a fair amount of tracking, and then if and when you do have an encounter, it's probably going to be in the thick of the forest. So keep that in mind as you're grabbing gear and prepping.
Okay. Make sure our grappling hooks are working really good. And
Zadu should probably have tactical control on this one, right? Because Wookiees live in trees, and Zadu was raised by them, and Jai does not know how to navigate this current social situation that he finds himself in between Muxo and Zadu and whatever those tensions are. Well, he's trying, and just
first you must really.
Yeah,
calm
you were
down.
absolutely right, Zadu. What you got?
Well, you're not going to want to be too heavy in the thicket. We have to run, it'll definitely catch up.
How are our jetpacks going to do?
In the forest?
Yeah.
Depending on how thick the branches are. Probably not well.
Okay. Do you think
Not
this
getting
guy's
much
got
height.
some kind of height advantage?
Well, if he's in... Well, I haven't seen the trees yet, but if he's a decent climber, then yes, trees are a good way to escape any predator that might come your way.
So we're going to proceed on foot then?
Most likely.
Do you have any special tracking skills, or are we going to depend on our force users?
Don't we always depend on our force users anyway?
For this particular task.
Jai's off to the side of this conversation in the room, just going. Like out of the line of sight of both of y'all while y'all are having this probably like stare down while like tactical data is going between you, but Dice is like, no, I don't trust my force users. I don't roll that. No. Incorrect.
Is there even a tracking? I guess survival.
Yeah, survival would work for tracking through the forest.
Well, I should, because I was raised on Kashyyyk, but my character's
Oh, no.
wisdom is also very low.
Oh, that's right. Oops. You could also try to hire a guide once you get there. If you really wanted to.
What's the reputation of
yes.
this planet in terms of force interference, though? Do we know that? Is that something we can find out, or is it weird for me to ask about spooky stuff?
You're certainly welcome to ask Kieran if you'd like, if you can find her,
Okay.
or Anaka. I'm sure would be happy to ignore that question.
It's a small ship, and we've got an intercom. And that is what Muso will do if she makes a reasonable circuit of the ship down
Okay.
into the cargo bay, back up to the cockpit. Doesn't find her, she's probably in the vents because I know you, Raven.
She's not Daisy, but you're not entirely wrong either.
Yeah, if
Okay.
she's been like hiding in my flight deck workshop.
We use the intercom. Karen, what kind of reputation does this place we're going have? Which I'm sure Muso knows the name of that place. You can answer it now, or you can leave me a message somewhere before we get to the planet in 5 hours.
Where are you sending this comm from?
A cockpit.
Okay. You hear the sound of like metal sliding against metal, and then like 30 seconds later, Kieran comes walking out of her room towards the cockpit.
Sure.
Jai's just staring, just like.
Kieran just looks at Jai and goes, "Jedi magic."
Jai just all expression just drops out of his face and he just goes, "Has the robot come visiting yet?" And then walks off.
Love that. Yeah, she looks a little concerned for a moment there, but quickly turns her attention to Muxo. And Kieran's like, sorry, I don't think I've ever been to this planet before. Can you describe it for me?
Yes, I give her the description that I have, which is that it's heavily forested. There's some small settlements. Its name, I don't know if I could have done like a gather information.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name because I haven't thought up a name for it yet.
Okay, great.
But it has a name.
Yeah, I give her the name. Any gossip I might have like been able to dredge up from cousins, you know. Where I go now. So, you know anything about it? Any weird, your type of people stuff going on? And by your type of people, I don't mean Jedi. I know you're ex-Jedi. I mean,
She kind of stands awkwardly and just like, no, right, I get what you mean. No, I've never been there. If it's forested and you're wanting to track somebody, I think that would make it easier. Because footprints and snapped twigs and things like that for tracking.
yeah, I'm also concerned that there seemed to be a little bit of issue when we were on that moon. right at the end of the trip, a little iffy for Ilsa. I want to make sure that we've got, all the precautions in place we need in case there is another event like that.
Oh.
So, but you're not aware of anything like that on this planet.
No, I don't know of any Force history on this planet. No.
Okay. So we'll probably check in with some of the settlements when we get down there. They'll be the experts. But if it's not bad enough to travel off planet, then I'm less worried.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Do you plan to take an active role in this hunt, or would you prefer to stay on the ship?
She's kind of awkward about it. It kind of stammers for a minute and is like, do you want me to help you on this job?
If you feel comfortable.
Sure, I can help you track.
Great. I don't want you to feel obligated, but I also don't want you to feel like we don't trust you. I mean, we don't, but you have to build trust by giving people the chance to do things. So you're welcome to come with us.
She just sort of slowly nods and is like, right. Okay. Good talk.
Good talk.
I'll go gear up.
Excellent. We're landing in 5 hours. Go do your thing.
All right. And I've decided the planet will be called Tolfnep. TOLF NEP.
F is in Fox?
Yes.
Okay.
That's actually how I imagined it was spelled.
Okay. I heard Tulp, but that's just that's what I heard.
Yeah, sorry. I ate something and now my throat's off lemmy. It's making me say things weird. Tolfnep is the name of it. And yeah, there's several places to land that you can choose from. You can take the whole freighter down to one of the larger settlements, or you could take individual fighters down to some of the smaller ones.
I'd like to take if we're all in agreement on this, I think that with what we're about to do after this mission, it might be best if we took the freighter down instead of flashing what we're trying to convince somebody else or somebody else's ships all over the place.
Yeah.
What do you all think? Okay, good. Let's take the freighter down.
Jai is largely indifferent.
Yeah, Kieran also has no opinion. Okay, so yeah, you're able to land your freighter down at one of the larger settlements. And your bounty, by the way, is named Jannar Fisk. Is his name. Yeah, the settlement is pretty rustic. There's not a whole lot of traffic here. It's about the only real, like, quote-unquote spaceport.
Sure.
It makes Tatooine look downright urban.
Yeah. So we'll get together her usual fruit basket array, and emerge from the ship, trying to find somebody who looks like they know something.
Yeah, there's actually
an old woman would be ideal.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lady that looks like she's in sort of not quite a military uniform, but some sort of uniform. And she's got graying hair. Not entirely gray, but it's going that route. And she's sort of at like a booth, just on the outskirts of the town.
Mm-hmm. Ready for visitors.
Mm-hmm. Very, very much so. The booth has even has little pamphlets. You can't quite read it from that distance, but
yeah,
some sort of information.
So this basket has a handle. So Muxo is still very much swaggering, but she has the basket that has like a kerchief over it, so nothing swings out at the end of her hand, because carrying it in her arm would mess up her movement.
She's not wearing red, is she? She's not wearing red, is she?
No,
No,
hot
no
pink.
red cape or anything like that.
The cape is gold.
Okay.
So Gold Riding Hood.
Yes.
Going to see Grandma. Oh my god. Sorry. The mental image also of a Mandalorian, even in brightly colored armor, just swaggering with what is essentially a picnic basket, is just really funny to me.
I do it for
Yeah,
you. I do it for me, but I do it for you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you're able to head over there. Kieran's gonna follow you. Kieran is dressed a little bit differently than normal. She's got like leather pants, but they're not like the tight shiny leather pants. They're like a natural leather, and they're not like form fitting. They actually look really comfortable, and sort of a Han Solo type shirt with a leather vest, and has some sort of handle on a back holster, sort of poking up at an angle off of a shoulder that you can see. Kind of hard to tell what kind of weapon it is, but she's got something.
Muso
So she's
will be
following you.
wearing, will be wearing her blaster pistol, not the Imperial blaster pistol. And her, like the 2 grenades she wants to carry will be out of sight behind her back, under her cape.
Okay.
She's not trying to be intimidating with the amount of weapons she's carrying. She just needs to still look the part of a Mando.
Yeah. Okay. Is anybody else approaching this lady with Muxo and Kieran?
Yeah, Jai's out there. Walking with him.
Yep.
Gun in normal blaster mode.
Okay.
Elsa would tag along.
Well, I mean, if the whole fam is going, then there's no reason for Anaka to stay on the ship.
Family trip.
She's probably not wearing her like heavy cape or anything, her cloak, just because, prep for lots of trees, probably a lot to get snagged on, and that's never cool.
Yeah.
She has an image to upkeep, so she's just in like her regular clothes, and she's got both of her lightsabers strapped to her waist.
Okay. Very interesting seeing Anako without the hood.
Yeah.
Is that who you bringing Locke?
So our entire party's walking up to one person
In a booth.
Apparently.
in a okay.
It
Smiling
kind of feels like
very-
this is customs.
So I was going to not crowd this poor soul that has what might as well be an army of Mandalorians walking right up.
All right. Okay. She's very friendly to everybody that does walk up. Has a big smile on her face, and kind of notes that most of you are in Mando armor. She says, "Well, my, what brings a bunch of Mandalorians out here?"
Muso swings a fruit basket up on the counter and kind of pushes it her way. Doesn't mention or anything. It's just there. Yeah, we're here. We're here on a job, as you might imagine. We're looking for Jannar Fisk. Seen him around?
Well, I don't know of any Jannar Fisk, but you're welcome to go take a look around. Do you need a guided tour? We do nature walks at the early morning time every day, and then we do bird watching tours later in the day. Well, actually, it's about to start in about 30 minutes. If you want to hang out and wait for that, is this some sort of bird that you're looking for?
No, a rather dangerous person. Do you actually have, one of your more serious guides? But don't get us wrong. We would love to take the nature walk at some other point, but do you have perhaps maybe one of your edgier types that we could take on a camping trip?
Just like, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by edgy, but sure, we've got plenty of guides that you can hire to take you deeper, off the trails if you're looking to go deeper into the woods.
Also, you're so informative. We really appreciate this. Have
It's like,
you
well, that is my job. I appreciate that.
have you does this area have any kind of reputation for spookiness or odd happenings or people
Oh, we
thinking
do
they
have
heard things?
like the occasional ghost story. People say they see monsters in the woods and that sort of thing, but I wouldn't pay it any mind. It's mostly superstition, and people people see a bear out in the woods and they think it's something else, and imaginations run wild. You know how it is.
Yeah, not very often though.
Well, tourism isn't especially strong here, but yeah, we do have some, and that's where those stories come from.
It's really astounding that you don't get more tourism with the level of service that you're offering.
She seems very pleased at the praise, and kind of doing the grandmotherly, like, well, aren't you nice young people kind of attitude.
Great. If you could direct us to one of these overnight guides, I'd really appreciate that.
She nods and says, well, give me just a second. And she pulls out a comm unit, and it's a generic message of like who's available. And there's a response on the other end. And shortly after that, a male human comes walking out of one of the other buildings that's not too far away, and starts walking towards the booth. And the lady there goes, well, that is one of our newer guides. Seems to be really good at finding the trails in the woods and everything. And they're not as familiar with all the ghost stories and everything, since they're haven't been here that long, just a while. But I'm sure they can help you find some good camping spots or whatever animal it is you're looking for. This Fisk animal.
Thank you so much. Is there some sort of fee for your concierge service?
Oh, no, not for me, but there will be for your guide. And he'll take care of that with you.
Great.
It's like the booth is subsidized by the local community for our tourism department.
I want to do some sort of intuition in this game.
I think it's just perception.
Perception? Yeah, I'm immediately suspicious of this guy who just showed up.
I do miss having intuition, or not intuition, insight.
Yeah, there really isn't anything like that.
I think for this, everything literally is just lumped into perception.
All right, I'm gonna do perception.
Okay.
I am suspicious. Yeah, okay. Apparently my suspicions are assuaged. It's not at all suspicious that he just showed up a couple weeks ago. It's fine.
And we're gonna go with the name John Tollock. Jontollok. Is how he introduces himself as he walks up. And yeah, pretty unassuming human male. Doesn't look suspicious at all. Is wearing a similar uniform, plus some like utility belt kind of thing.
I know this.
Can I do a perception roll?
Absolutely.
Got an 18.
An 18. Yeah. I mean,
And I'm willing to spend force points.
It's entirely up to you. This guy seems not the most personable of people. He's kind of gruff. Looks like he doesn't really want to be here. But other than that, I mean, he seems to be there to do a job. Looks
Why
very.
would he want to be here with a group of people who are looking for him?
Okay, I want to step up next to Anaka and then kind of in a stage whisper, like pull out a version of the code cylinder. Because I assume at this point I have a collection of code cylinders, and just pull out one and just be like very much stage whisper. So I assume I'm gonna have to roll deception on this and just be like, when we find Agent Fisk, we have to get him word from Admiral Pell that he needs his service, and just like spin this code cylinder.
Okay, you can certainly try. Go ahead and roll deception for me.
This is gonna be really bad, friends. Like, this is gonna be a disaster. I got a 4.
How the fuck did you manage that?
A critical fail. I have a 3 to deception.
Oh, it's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how bad this is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a shootout right here in town. We don't even have to go to the woods.
It's not that
You
bad.
want to use a crit?
No, this is perfect. We're gonna learn something.
No. One way or another, we're in it now.
So you're doing this, and it's instead of it being like a stage whisper, like, you know, I'm trying to be quiet but just loud enough that they overhear. You're just like, it would be a shame if, like, that loud, no volume control. And so this guy is just giving you the weirdest look, like, and kind of looks over to Mook. So it's like, is your friend okay? They seem.
Oh, and she pulls a juice box out of her belt. And he puts a straw in for him. I know it's been a while since breakfast. And she
snatches the juice box and then
significant look like you done fucked up.
I snatches the juice box and just been like, freaking helmet system.
And so John just sort of nods and goes, "Oh yes, I've met a few people like that. If they don't eat enough, they get discombobulated. I'll be sure to bring some extra rations just in case."
Yeah. So I'm assuming we've moved away from the booth at this point.
Yeah, if you'd like. He's pretty much going to keep pace with you for at least for a while, because the first part is very easy. Like, there's a clear marked trail and things like that. So if you're heading into the woods, he's just going to like keep pace with you.
Is the agent we're looking for human?
Yes, they are. They're Imperial, so odds are they're probably going to be human because the Empire was weird like that.
Great. So clearly we're not here for, whatever version of syrup harvest that you do here on this planet. We are looking for a person. We're hoping you can help us find this person.
Okay. Would that be this person that your friend was asking about?
Yeah. Jannar Fisk. Have you heard of him?
I can't say that I've heard of them. Are you a friend of theirs, or?
No, we're bounty hunters.
Ah, I see. So you're... this sounds like some sort of criminal then, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I've would know if I've met such a criminal or not. People all look kind of the same to me. We have had a few new people going out on expeditions out into the woods, and a couple of groups haven't come back.
This person is very dangerous.
Should I be concerned then?
It depends on how safe you feel among us.
Well, you all look like you can handle yourselves. I'm sure I'll be fine. I can.
When the danger occurs, you just make sure you get in the center, as if we were a herd of megafauna.
He pulls out like a small holdout blaster and is like, "Well, should I get something better than this?"
Muxa will hand him one of the grenades from her belt. Just keep this too.
Okay. Matt, your face.
John is sus. I saw John in electrical, and then I saw him, and y'all don't believe me?
I feel like this is the like gazebo moment for the party, but this is an evil tour guide.
He is evil. I know that as a player. Muso rolled a 9.
Yeah,
She's still cautious, but she can't prove anything.
Okay.
And none of her force users are telling her jack shit.
Yeah. Kieran's just
Shouldn't
sort of
they be
walking
like
along.
worming into his mind, like doing their witchy thing?
I
I don't. We could. Ilsa could try, but her force rolls are kind of really bad.
He takes the grenade, by the way, and looks like he's never seen one before, and awkwardly like hooks it to his belt.
She'll take the other one off her belt, show him how to use the mechanism, how to lock it, how to set a timer.
Okay.
Undoes all that stuff, puts it back on her belt.
Yeah, he carefully watches and mimics the motions without actually doing it and puts on a belt. Yeah, Ilsa.
Yeah. Is anybody telling Ilsa to try? No.
Jai's just mad. Jai is now back into like mad muttering under his breath, just stomping through the woods.
I guess she'll try if she sees like Jai storm off to figure out if this guy is trustworthy.
Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be a use the force check. See if you can get a sense for this person. $21, that's pretty good. So as you're sort of trying to get a sense for if this person is who they're saying they are, and or if this is who you're looking for, you definitely get the sense that this person's hiding something, but you can't tell if it's like hiding the fact that he's a horrible assassin, or if he's hiding the fact that like he lied on his job application. And is really hoping nobody finds out.
So at that point, after the grenade thing, Musa will fall back and sort of indicate to Zadu, like, I mean, this guy's your team now. You wanna follow him with him?
Sorry?
And
We're
Ilsa
at the
would hear
woods?
that, like, because they have their communicators on, right?
Yeah, she'll go through
And-
her helmet.
And that person can't hear them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're Woodsy.
I am?
He's Woodsy. He's local.
Okay.
You want to hang?
Do I want to hang? Because I'm woodsy.
With the guide.
Right. Yeah, I'll go hang with the guide since we're both woodsy.
This
Yeah,
feels very much like Muxo being like, this is the son of a lady that I go to the gym with on Thursday evenings. Like, go ahead, have fun.
What I'm saying is, do you want to take the
good talk.
lead now that we're in the woods?
Good talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to join the guide.
God. Okay. Just sort of nods to you, and after you've gone for like 30 minutes or so of walking, the trail kind of ends, and he starts guiding you, like leading you towards the small river that's kind of flows through the forest, and the forest floor starts to get a little less even. It's more like a very, very tiny, gently rolling hills with a bunch of trees and everything on it. So it's still very forested landscape, but the ground just isn't as flat as it was. It starts guiding you along the river.
How do you know so much about the woods here? As I recall, you came here, what, a few weeks ago?
Oh no, I've been here for a couple of months.
A couple months.
I know forest quite well, and it only took me about a month or so to map out a large part of this area.
Interesting. You have no need of a map now, which is, I'd say, very impressive.
That's a gift. I just seem to have a natural sense of direction.
Yes, life does tend to give little quirks and gifts to all who live it, doesn't it?
It truly does. It truly does.
Does this guy's? I'm not gonna insight check, but does it feel like he's more? Does it feel like he knows this forest maybe better than he should?
I'll let you do a life sciences roll for that if you want to get a sense of like how hard would it be to learn this forest for the average person.
Oh, life. I wish my
It's a weird
thinking
roll,
stats were. Wish my thinking stats weren't so low. Yeah, just it's bad. It's
No,
bad.
this forest seems pretty easy to understand. Like that makes sense. That's kind of what you get from it. Sort of like in the way that's like, well, I'm no scientist, but that makes sense to me, kind of a thing.
Ah, what brought you here? If you don't mind me asking.
Trying to decide what his response is going to be. Yeah, he looks at Zadu and as well, that's kind of a painful topic. Lost my family in a piloting accident, or a ship accident. And so it's kind of painful to be around where I lived before, so I decided to come out here and spend some time in the wilderness.
You and I have walked a very similar path, my friend. When I was much younger than I am now, my family crashed on a planet much like this. I lost my mother and father. Thankfully, the locals raised me, but it does hurt to think about. I am sorry for your loss.
He just kind of nods solemnly and kind of claps you on the shoulder plate and says, I appreciate that.
Both doing much better now.
I need to ask a question that I don't know if any of us have asked yet and might inform this whole situation.
Sure.
Did the bounty come with a picture?
It did not.
Okay, okay.
I'd hope not. That'd make it too easy.
That's a very good question.
Do I still have my data link back to our ship? Like, are we still within range of their network?
Just barely, but yeah. Do you want to try to look up a picture?
I do want to try to look up a picture.
Okay.
I think Jai has decided he doesn't much like forests and wants to be done. So, use computers.
Yep, that's the one.
27. Look, something I'm good at.
Yeah, you're able to pull up like one picture through a lot of different searches because this person was, basically a former spy and assassin for the Empire. So having a lot of public pictures was not great for that. But this person, sort of fair complexion, typical Imperial officer looking person, clean shaved, short hair. Hair was like a dark black color, with not really much in the way of distinguishing marks or anything like that on their face. And then I assume
John.
Do you want a description of John? Yeah. So John, on the other hand, has blonde hair and a bit of a beard. It's a sort of a short, well-groomed beard, but it is a beard, and has a sort of noticeable scar right above the eyebrow on his right eye.
Is it a natural blonde or is it a dyed blonde?
I was about to ask, like, do I have the capability on my little hollow wrist thingy to like pull a picture of John next to Fifth and like color in his hair and like erase the scar, get rid of the beard, and compare?
Photoshop on the go.
I will say, since you are going through the forest,
probably not.
You can try it with disadvantage.
Absolutely, I'll try with disadvantage.
And then if you want to not be obvious about it, it's a stealth roll also with disadvantage.
Oh, I don't think I care about that part so much, but
okay.
So more use computers. There's one. So 15.
You're like, they could maybe be cousins, maybe.
All right.
From
so
the picture that you've got, like, it's not a ringer for Janara Fisk, but they do look kind of similar.
I'm gonna just wipe it off and just be like over the comms, be like, all right, I'm not convinced this is the guy.
Anyone's welcome to roll perception if you really want to figure out if it's dyed blonde or not.
So, does force perception work?
I'm gonna say no. You can't use the force to tell if hair is dyed or not.
That's not how the force works.
Exactly.
I'm obligated to ask every time because I have force perception.
No,
magic.
I know.
You have force magic. Yes.
A 23 perception.
Wait a second. I have an argument though.
Oh God, what is it?
It says that I can use my force perception to sense deception. If he is using hair dye to cover up his true identity, then that is a deception. So maybe she's
pry into his mind when
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's less that she's looking at the hair and trying more so to get the vibe. This is a vibe check.
Hard to say no to a vibe check.
It is.
Go
right?
for it.
What does the 23 tell Muxo?
What's a 28?
I mean, she is blonde. She has a standard by which to judge this.
That's true. All right, so getting to Muxo's first. It could be dyed. If it is, it was very well done. But you're not 100% sure. For Anaka, you don't sense any deception.
Okay.
Are you trying to decide if you're going to mess with us right now, Anaka?
No. Why do you always expect the worst from her?
What?
I would just
Track
expect
record.
you to take any situation and stir it.
Yeah.
That's not the worst. Usually that works to my amusement.
All right, let's see where this John, that is his real name, leads us.
We are so distrusting of this man, and it's going to turn out like he's probably just a really good dad and misses his family and like raises adopted war orphaned Ewoks in his spare time.
In my limited experience with the Star Wars franchise, we are not that far off from how Mandos do.
No, not at all. I just think it's really funny, like how many different angles and how adamant you all are. Like this, we're gonna find something. Oh god. So yeah, leads you down the river, because it's a consistent landmark. But it does start to get a little bit more treacherous for footing and things like that. The river gets deeper into one of those hills. But it's like a steep incline up either side. Not quite a cliff, but it would be hard to hike up it, or you'd kind of have to climb out of it a bit.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So
Let's give it a hard look for
ambush.
Okay.
Jai's just gonna go like, I'm gonna take the high road, John, and jetpacks to the top.
Okay. One quick second. Thank you so much, Adam Loves You. ATOM, Atom Loves You. For that follow. You are the 400th follower on the channel, which is super cool. Thank you so much. So, Jai, as you go to do that, I need a perception roll. From everybody, really.
I got a 27.
Don't make me roll this
Nice.
poor stat.
I'm sorry.
Mine? Oh, I have it. There's actually a
Okay. So, Muxo does not notice this. Zadu and Ilsa. We'll start with you. You notice just a flash of light, and you hear that classic Star Wars blaster rifle bolt sound, and it's coming from in front of you. And then for Jai with the 27, you see the specific like hill that it's coming from, and blaster bolts are getting fired off in rapid succession. Did Anaka want to roll for perception?
Yeah, I'm gonna need your input here because I have two separate things relating to perception, and I don't know which one would be more beneficial in this case. So,
Okay.
with my species, I have that spatial awareness trait where I can sense things ignoring cover. So I'm assuming that would just be a regular perception roll, but then I also have my force perception.
Ignoring cover would be useful. Use the force would also be useful in this case. It's really kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Okay.
For as far as how useful it would be.
All right, I'll just use the force perception then, because I think that's higher. 26.
All right. So with the 26, using the force, you do not sense anyone where that blaster bolt's coming from. And then you also realize that you don't sense John in the middle of the group anymore. At that point, you might look down and see in the middle of the group is a grenade on the ground with a timer that's about to go off.
Motherfucker.
That's where we're going to end the session.
No! What do you mean? There's still time on the clock?
Oh, yes.
You were
The
right,
audacity.
John was the assassin.
The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. How dare you?
You were so close to some of those rolls, too. I was like, oh crap, they're going to find out. But then you were just like a few points off.
I was going to use a force point, and then you made it sound like I didn't need to.
Yeah,
So
you were
okay.
perfectly like long-sufferingly reasonable about our bullshit about being on this guy's case.
I also used a D6 and just didn't mention it.
That was amazing GM chicanery there.
Love it. I love
Thanks.
Oh,
You are an absolute
Using the grenade I gave him.
monstrosity.
I love
Well,
it.
What was that, Hope?
Using the grenade I gave him.
I know. When you gave the grenade, I was like, oh no. Oh god.
Raven, every time you give me a character who says, "Oh, I feel vulnerable," what the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
I should have
At
had
this
Ilsa
point-
check earlier. Like, right, because it checked after you gave the grenade.
at this point,
Yeah.
if Muxo ever feels like sentimental towards somebody, I think I'm just gonna shoot him. Like standard rule now. Just wait, nope, no.
Aren't
No,
you nice?
Anaka's not gonna. Yeah, Anaka's not gonna stop you, Jai. That's for sure.
Oh goodness.
Oh, if I could have done that computer check, I would have just shot him in the head. Like that was my whole plan. It's just like, oh, it's him. Okay, done. Let's go home.
If you'd gotten a good roll on that, it would have been like, well, the features don't quite line up, but the facial structure sure does.
Oh,
I was
should've used-
like biting my tongue the whole time, like, crap, one of these rolls is gonna work.
Well, they could be cousins. Oh, fuck off.
Oh, I can't
Rude.
wait for next week. It's gonna be fun.
Oh.
But yeah, we're gonna go on a raid here shortly. But before we do, I want to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, anything they'd like to share or plug. And then if you have an idea for what our raid cry should be, feel free to throw that into chat, and we'll shout that as we go raid someone. So we're gonna go reverse order from our intros. So, Mr. Parr, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you'd like to share or plug?
Favorite part? All of it? Just all of it? You can find me next. You can find me next here, next week. Same day, same time, slot, same show, same cast, same characters. For another thrilling adventure in the Star Wars universe. And you also find me on Twitter at Par Professional for all, I could say, quote unquote, professional pursuits I might be doing, and at Mr. Par 4E for any personal pursuits I am after.
All right. Next we'll hop over to Matt. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you and all that good stuff?
Oh boy. And my favorite part was there at the end. Was that goddamn GM chicanery that just you strung us along just enough to make it hurt more when you stuck the knife in. Oh my gosh. And using the grenade Muxo gave him.
And she showed him how to use.
Yeah. Yeah. She did this. Oh, it's so good.
I was doing silent,
look.
I was doing rolls the whole time too. I'm like, I really hope they don't hear the dice rolling on the table.
I mean, I think we all can agree alive is off the table at this point, but that was
soft heart is going to kill all of you.
Not with Jai's new rule. It's not. We're fine after this. We're safe. It's great. Yeah. So that was by far my favorite part. Was just that marvelous bit of GMing. That was wonderful. Amazing storytelling.
Thank you.
You can find me again here on this channel on Saturday afternoon for the Time Travelers Monster of the Week game, where I play someone who is literally the exact opposite character of Jai. He is a magic corrupted special agent who's just had a really long day and is starting to run out of whiskey, and it's just a really long day. You can find me over on my Twitch channel, Fifth Draw Live, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm going to be doing another part of my Pokemon Nuzlocke tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. And I have a podcast called Hard Reboot, where me and two friends take a public domain property and give it a fresh coat of paint.
Fabulous. Next, we've got Hope. Same questions.
Oh my god. This was so good. Like everything was like we've been setting up for this session for a couple sessions. So
Yeah.
I will say obviously flirting with Evan was very fun. And then the argument with Zadu was excellent, and it's just been like we're doing it at just the right level the rest of the episode, and it's wow, I love it. And I knew right away. I knew. Muso didn't know. But it was really weird that he'd been here just a couple weeks and he was just the perfect guy to take us out there. What the hell? Oh, this has all been so good. And Ilsa getting more straws and cups because she's very sweet.
That was super cute.
Yeah. she's Muso's little sister now.
Aww.
Even when she's being a snotty little bitch.
All right. And where can folks find you?
Oh yeah. Hope Tracy 71 on Twitter, or on Monday nights on Milady Saito's channel, where I play a why not wild magic sorcerer with designs on throne.
Awesome. And then next we've got Nikki. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you'd like to share or plug?
Okay, I'll get to my favorite part in a second. It also feels really bad for like kind of approving for Kieran to come on the ship without asking anybody first. And
Yes.
slamming her poor friend into the ground and blaming it on the snake.
Totally a snake, and Jai suspects no different.
Yeah, so she feels bad about that. And so she's trying to be nice. And I kind of like the interaction at the beginning that we got to do. I really like that we do that. And of course, I liked how you just really got us, Raven. It was really good. And after Ilsa did her check and it was like he was hiding something, I knew something had to be up. I just knew it. I was just waiting for somebody else to figure the rest out.
I very much appreciate how well you all separated the player knowledge from character knowledge and played that out. That was beautiful. So props to all of you as well.
Thank you. It was hard.
And I am Nick Cool on Twitter. I don't think I'm on again until Saturday night on Polished Cryptid channel, where I play a kind of a creepy character with a creepy doll.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she talks to the doll, and the doll has like no eyes, and is
Oh, that
really
is creepy.
yeah. It's her best friend. It's a lot of fun. And that's over on Polished Cryptid on Saturday. I can't tell you exactly the time. I think it's like 9 or 10 Eastern or 9 Eastern. I don't know. I'm Nicole on Twitter, and see everybody soon.
Awesome. Last but not least, V, favorite part, where can folks find you, and anything you'd like to share or plug?
Yeah, the whole ending was just beautiful. It's like somebody's gotta hit something at some point, right? And then we just continued to not. And so I was like, all right, well, we're all suspicious, but if it seems okay, and suddenly there's just a grenade. I loved it. I think it's really fun. And I'm interested to see how that goes next week. But yeah, as for me, I won't be here for a game tomorrow. We don't have any games on Fridays, but Saturday evening I will be here for more Animus Obscentus. And if you've not seen that game, you should definitely check it out, because It's a fantastic crew, and we're all trying to find the ingredients to a memory drug, and that's pretty fun. Yeah, it's something. 99% of our crew doesn't want their memories back, but my character's just like, too bad, we're doing it.
Doing it anyways. It is a really fun show. Definitely check it out.
I'm sure that the reemergence of some flirtatious person from your past has nothing at all to do with what you wanting to remember exactly why they're all like, yeah, we had a lot of fun.
See, you say that. However, Raven can tell you that I'm more concerned with all of the hurt that I can inflict on my character.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've been delving into like sad backstories, and I'm like, I would like some of that, please.
When you make the GM go, give your character a break. They've suffered enough.
I just think it's very interesting that, you know, you emotionally scar and traumatize your own characters, and you get interesting results. It's all in the name of the process. That's all I'm saying.
It's all for science, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
God.
the show is heavily based in science fiction. Therefore, we have to make good on the science part of it, right?
Absolutely.
But other than that, you can find me next week as well. On Wednesdays, I GM Exodus. So we're going to be closing in on the end of this season, and then we're going to be doing a little bit extra next season as well, just to wrap up the story, get everybody to the end of that. You can also find my work online. I am primarily a traditional artist, but I do a lot of digital work as well. And I will pop the link there in the chat, but you can find me on Twitter at PepperoDraws, and that's Peppero like the candy. That's me.
All right. I just came up with a raid cry. It would help if I could spell. There we go. There's our raid cry in chat. That just leaves me, my favorite part. It's hard to say. I actually really enjoyed the conversations between Kieran and Zadu. That was pretty great. And then the pilot conversation between Muxo and Zadu was also just beautiful. You know what? On second thought, no, you can't borrow my ship. That was all just chef's kiss.
You're so close. You're so close to getting it.
Yep.
That last line really killed it for you.
Yeah, I get it.
And then, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was a whole lot of fun, just doing the assassin thing, being the innocent little tour guide. I was like, if I was a smarmy ISB agent / assassin who had people after him, how would I handle that? And I was like, I'd probably play a tour guide, see who's actually looking for me, and then lead him into an ambush.
Yeah.
And it worked. I'm really excited to see how you handle it. And I'm really glad that you didn't hear me like frantically making rolls as quietly as possible, so as not to tip you all off. Oh god. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I always enjoy this game a lot. Where you can find me next will be tomorrow at noon Mountain Time, right back here. I'll be playing Mare, our goth, antisocial, superhero type character in a world where dreams and reality are not separate things. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely not a sci-fi, but somehow we've ended up on a space station at the moment, because we're in a dream world, so things are constantly being peculiar. But it's going to be really interesting to see how these characters react to a space station, because they're not sci-fi characters at all. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, yeah, Saturday we've got Time Travelers at noon Mountain Time and Animus at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's the rest of the shows for this week. Other things to share, excuse me, and plug is sponsors. Fundamental RPG, which is what Animus runs on. You can pick up your copy at Amazon. or on my coffee shop if you just want the digital copy, which is coffee.com/raven/shop, like it says in the bottom right-hand corner. Just add /shop to the end of it, as well as Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. So outdoor, athletic, and casual wear with a tabletop theme. There's a bunch of accessories and stuff too. Currently working on adding in some really cool coffee mugs onto that, so you can find it at the same place. And then we're gonna go raid someone. I was gonna say Saito, but I see a Saito in chat. Did your stream just end? Or are you wrapping up? No, you're still streaming. Okay. We're gonna go stream. We're gonna go raid you, and hopefully you're not about to end too. So we're gonna go raid Saito. Saito's fantastic. Give her a follow if you're not doing so already. She does really cool stuff and is just an awesome person in general. And then thank you again to Stella Luna for that raid, and for everybody that followed and got us to 400 followers. That's fantastic. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or any other shows that we've had on the channel, you can do so over at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. Just go to Stream Library and look for Black Feather Guild, and that's where you'll find all of our content. So you can get caught up on everything over there. And I think that's everything, so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.